And welcome back, everybody. We are back for another CBC podcast. As always, thank you for joining us. Before we get into the show, let me remind you, links down below. The new audio feed for the podcast, just check it out there. Go follow, subscribe. It may merge with the old one. It might not. I don't know. Give it a couple months and we'll see what happens. With that uncertainty, what I am certain of is that we have a show for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the certainty. We have a
It'll
show.
be a show of all time.
It will be a show, that's for sure. So, joining me for this here show is, of course, Mitch.
Hey, R.I.P. Akira Toriyama.
Yeah, I saw that last night, right when I was like getting ready for bed. I was like, oh,
yeah, that one hit. Right.
Oh.
Awful stuff.
I haven't seen too much of the stuff, but obviously I know of the man and what he was involved.
I say everyone knows something that he's
that
at least influenced. Like even if you don't know, like Dragon Quest, what's it, Doctor? What's the
Slump.
first thing he did? Doctor, what was it?
Dr. Slump. It was basically his avatar. Had a little like comic and show.
Huh.
Yeah, there's that. Obviously they got Dragon Ball Z, Chrono Trigger. He did character designs for that.
Was it? Oh yeah, that new IP he was on.
There's that stand thing. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that looked fun. Right. Yeah, Dragon Ball's just insanely influential in the West at the minute. The last
that's something. So, I guess the other voice here that joined us for that is of course Tristan.
Yeah, just Linktree stuff. Got projects going on, and I wouldn't want to be the person like managing Studio Ghibli Pictures X account because they posted an AR image of Akira Toriyama.
Miyazaki's going on a murder spree out there
because they found it. I was like, oof.
God, imagine being the guy that does that. At one of the only hand-drawn studios left in existence, and you post AI prompt art, quote art.
Oh, that's something. That's really something. My God. Well, I suppose that's it. We're not going to waste too much time here. We're just going to get straight into the topics, everybody. So let's just get into our first topic at hand, which, of course, is going to be talking about Spider-Man and the potential sort of meet in the middle solution that we might be getting. Now, in case people don't know what's going on, Sony wants another $2 billion multiverse hit because they don't know any better and they just want to rush things like they did with all their films. And Marvel's like, well, we set up a street level film. Let's just do that. But that's not going to be a $2 billion film. So, I guess they're trying to find ways to mash it up.
You're gonna get Daredevil, but it's Multiverse Daredevil. Ben Affleck, not Charlie Cox.
Technically, you can do it, but I don't trust it.
But here's the thing: how do you do it at this point? Let's just say this has to happen. How do you do that? You can't go Doctor Strange again.
Yeah, that's lame. So you do Wong?
I mean, I'm trying to think of what multiversal characters Spider-Man has access to.
So are they just going to use the Spot?
I mean, they could if they wanted to, but there's a couple others. I'm drawing a blank on them right now.
No, use the what's more line than that lot called? I always want to call them Inheritors.
Oh, what is that what was that projector from the animated series that
he had that weird look. Yeah.
The one Green Goblin made, and then he started using projections all over the place.
Yeah, God, they'll probably do something like that.
Yeah, you can switch out Green Goblin and have Hobgoblin do that. Oh, because originally, Hobgoblin was a thief, so yeah, it could go that way.
Did they go the route where it's like, hey, look, Ned has become the Goblin and he's being possessed. Oh, what's possessing him? Oh, look on this other side. It's the multiverse.
I've cracked it right. A week before the third Spider-Verse movie comes out, they're going to change the movie so Gwen gets kicked into and trapped in a different reality. Because that's the crux of those movies, right? And then it's going to be Spider-Gwen or even Miles. It'd be one of them with Tom Holland, and that's
it sounds like, why does it look so different? Like almost real.
So why are you animated? That's weird.
Oh,
this is like Space Jam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like looking at this whole thing. It's like we just literally had this with the last Spider-Man film. The whole reason we got, what we got is because they wanted to go in Kraven direction, which they confirmed, and then they were like, well,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess it's just what's I guess technically not flop in succession. You can tell that technically the movie side is really hurting for money, so they're trying to find anything. Even with, I think didn't they go ahead with Greenlight? Was it Uncharted 2?
Yeah.
Because it for however good it was, it made money.
It was okay. It was not as bad as people made it out to be.
And then was it? Oh yeah, for I think was it Consumer Electronics Expo? Sony did show off their next video game movie adaptation being Gravity Rush, where they did show some behind the scenes footage.
Yeah, that's weird. So it's like, I guess they're trying to, find what's going to make the most amount of money, but sacrificing Spider-Man again when you literally did it with your entire spunk and also TASM 2, like.
I mean, I guess they believe with like the Marvel imprint, Spider-Man's too big to fail, even though he almost did that.
Yeah.
It's that stereotypical executive crap, whereas it's made money once, it's going to forever continue to make money. So let's just keep doing that.
Right.
Yeah. And it'll eventually, they'll be shocked when that well runs dry very quickly, because the second movie's not going to make $2 billion.
No, definitely not.
Unless they do it again, won't make $2 billion.
Exactly. So it's like they're kind of stuck in a place. I'm hoping that at worst, maybe Marvel can convince them, being like, how about we'll do the next Spider-Man film as a 2-parter? And then the second part, you get what you want. It's like, I want to see just the street level stuff,
Yeah, like, so you get the multiverse stuff with Tom Holland, and the second part is starting out with Miles, and he's basically street level.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could, like, Disney could pull the rug out from Sony and be like, hey, remember how we never changed the contract to say that you had to have a movie out every 2 years? Well, it's been longer than that now, so like really dick move it. Just help everyone out. Save the poor kid. He needs it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we should know by the end of this year, because at that point, if we don't know by the end of this year, that thing's not hitting till like 27, 28. That's way too late.
Like everything else.
It can't be indefinitely delayed. That's Sony's literally only film making money.
Yeah.
So
because Madam Web ain't doing it. God damn.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got we don't have to wait that long. We have San Diego Comic-Con, and then after that is D23.
Yeah.
And you also have, New York Comic-Con in the fall.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing gets announced at New York Comic-Con.
Yeah, New York Comic-Con's just yeah, that's changed. So, I mean, there we go. Look, once we know more, we'll talk about it more, but that's the current idea, I guess. But
I'm hopeful it's not as it sounds.
Yeah.
And they kind of Sony sees sense a little bit.
And that's what I was going to say, but like this could always change. So it's like, but it's Sony,
so there's a way. There's a way that this can work here, but I don't trust it. I don't like Sony, so
yeah, I don't trust it. It's Sony. They do dumb things, so we shall see. I suppose. I guess. Kenobi season 2 not happening. I guess probably not. As of right now, at least it doesn't look like it's going to be. And
I mean, they called it a complete series. It's done.
Yeah.
I'll get over it, but right now I'm kind of mad about it. I want more.
I'm like kind of conflicted because I want to try to get away from that whole time period of Star Wars. Like I want them.
You gotta make peace with it. We're stuck.
I know. We are never moving past like the 50-year mark, like in there.
No.
So it's I also get it. Like that show cost them well over like $150 million. So
That's a whole lot of sand.
Yeah. It's
You say 100 million of that was just getting Liam Neeson back
for 10 seconds or whatever.
I play a Ghost.
It'll be interesting to see just what they knew next with regards to Star Wars, because now we're hearing also on the other side of that, we might have Star Wars Episode 10 on our hands, because the Rey film might actually just be Star Wars Episode 10 something. We don't know what.
I thought this was, or at least it's been denied, as far as I'm aware. I think one of the outlets asked and they went, no, it's not Episode 10.
Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted on this, because like we get a lot of leaks from Star Wars people that end up being so true. It's like scary. It's like, what do these people do? Like how are they disconnected to Star Wars? I remember when The Force Awakens was coming out, so much leaked, and people are like, oh, none of this is true. And then literally like after the film was out a year later, oh, it's like, oh no, this actor did play Luke. They completely shot this Empire sequence. They did this and that. We're like, oh wow, that was all true, huh? Like, so
You weren't in denial.
A part of me wants to believe that they might look at this and be like, could we do another trilogy? But at the same time, I don't want it. Like, move on from the trilogies.
They could. Well, that's just the nature of how they want to do these overarching stories. Do you want to have like?
It's also just Star Wars, right? It's known for being in threes and trilogies.
Yeah. And then it goes on. It's like, do you really want an anthology series, or it's one character?
No, God, no.
Yeah.
And then
I think we learned our lesson with anthology series or so.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
No one cares,
because what ends up happening is if you do get a fan favorite character, fans want that character. So
you would think. And everybody thought they know, because like literally when it came to, hey, what movies do you guys want? People were like, we want a Han Solo movie, an Obi-Wan movie, and a Boba Fett movie. Well, one got the movie treatment and failed. The other two got TV show treatments. One completely bombed. The other did good, but it's not getting a follow-up. So it's like, well,
no, you got a Boba Fett TV show. It just wasn't the Boba Fett you were watching.
I was saying, you got two Boba Fett TV shows.
I was gonna say
you got green Boba Fett and silver Boba Fett.
Yeah, so
now we're gonna have a girl Boba Fett.
Yes, go. Yeah. Well, we've got two girl Boba Fetts anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, that's true. So I don't know, like whatever they want to give us, I'm cool with it. I just want more Star Wars in my life. So like, sure, if it's Episode 10, I'll go see it regardless. If it's not, I don't care. More Obi-Wan, I could have used it, but I get it. Like,
yeah, I get it. It's I like season one. I was fine with more. I was fine with that more. But
the only thing I didn't want was more of the worst forest chase of all time. That was truly the worst sequence in Star Wars. I was like, ooh, on par with the speeder race and Book. Those two sequences are just.
I can't remember that.
The sequence in Obi-Wan where they go to like capture little Leia in the forest, and it's like, if you were to add the funny tuba music, it perfectly matches up.
Yeah,
it is so comedically bad.
She's duck diving and dodging every trooper.
Yeah, and they're just like doing the comedic, hey, wait, and then the Scooby-Doo grab when she's out of reach. I'm like, oh my god, that was probably the worst part of that series. And Book of Boba Fett, the worst part was the slowest speeder race known to man somehow. Like, dude, there was people running in the background faster than those things were moving. What was happening? Come on.
Look how tight and turny the streets are.
Robert Rodriguez failed me on that series. I'm sorry, Robert.
He did it. But if Boba Fett and a baby Rancor, it makes up for it.
Fair enough. So there you go, everybody. We just wanted a little Star Wars update. Not a whole lot here to add. Just, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel, just so you're aware. So there you go.
I mean, that's all we've been given this week. God damn.
That's true. What else we're going to be given is a possible delay. So here's the status. The Batman Part 2 is coming to theaters next October. No, it's not. It
Has it
is.
even
It is
started
not.
filming yet?
No. And as a matter of fact, all the actors that are involved with it, besides Robert Pattinson, that have talked about it, said they've heard nothing and nobody's seen a script. And Matt Reeves took
Right.
like 2 years to finish up Batman and then another year of post-production. This thing is not being turned around in a year and a half max. If it doesn't start production now, they're not hitting October of next year. There is absolutely no way. And just by looking
No.
at some of the production slates that WB has, and just like what I know and what I've heard from some people that I know that work in the industry, um, yeah, if they rush
Does
Batman
WB
Part
know what a production slate actually is now? Is that just
Well,
like
David
how
Zaslav is
you write things off for tax? Is that what that
that
is?
I was gonna say it's the tax write-off slate for him.
Imagine if he writes off the Batman. That would be crazy.
Like,
It would never happen because it's Batman. But
yeah, it would never happen. But like, it's gonna be crazy because next year, we were supposed to get Superman, and then hey, here's Batman, and then it's like, oh, well, I guess probably not Batman. But then again, I think that's fine. You give Superman a little bit more to be like the big hit, right? It's like, hey, if you want DC content, this new universe just kicked off with Superman. You got nothing else. It's like, all right, like it might kind of be smart to delay Batman into maybe like spring or summer of 26, like, or yeah, 26.
yeah, I guess this is just all like a knock-on effect of the strike and COVID, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Easily.
And also the Penguin series has got to be done first.
Yeah, they're still post-producing that. And
Yeah.
like there's rumors they're gonna be going for a couple weeks of maybe reshoots. Like they got a couple weeks scheduled. They might not use them all, but that's still telling. It's like they were supposed to move smoothly from Penguin to start production on Batman immediately, but then the strikes hit and it fell apart. And production on the Batman Part 2 was set to start in September of last year, meaning
Nice.
that they were
Nice.
giving themselves that much time. So if you just connect the dots, you're like, this isn't going to happen, like unless
No.
they rush it. And Matt Reeves is not going to rush it. So
No chance.
I'm a little sad that I won't get that film much quicker, but at the same time, we'll get we got like 4 or 5 MCU films coming next year. We'll be eating good with comic book films regardless. We don't need Batman
Well, hopefully.
as well. Yeah,
Hopefully.
Blade's
Stuff's got to pick up quick, like
Yeah.
Also, if you're banking on Blade coming out next year, then Delulu is it's not the Salulu.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, well, okay. I kind of want to talk about this here as well. So I guess we're going to add a like a subtopic or a dual topic. That's what we'll call it. Let's talk a little bit about Superman that's coming next year because James Gunn obviously revealed, hey, we started shooting. Here's your logo. Hey, here's our first photo of that where we're shooting in like Sweden, and also it's not called Legacy anymore. It's just called Superman, which is the first time a Superman film is going to be called Superman, which is wild.
Yeah.
I like it. I was used to Superman Legacy, and I still keep calling it that because that's how my brain has been for 2 years since they announced it or whatever. But it's a good title. I like Superman. It's straight and to the point. It's not
I
like
say it's fine. It's weird that you can just say, oh yeah, the Superman movie.
Yeah.
Or just like you can't say the Superman movie anymore because that was obviously the original one. But it's just like
right.
Superman. Yeah.
That's the only thing that gets it's like when a video game re-releases and has the same title, like Resident Evil 4, and then there's Resident Evil 4, the remake. It's like or sometimes they don't even change it. Like video games have titles and they just add, or like Fast and the Furious. They had Fast and the Furious, and then the 4th film was the. You're like, what? Who? Why? Like,
see,
what?
There's the sequel, right? You've got Superman, then the Superman Returns.
Well, if you're talking about like Fast and the Furious, the second one was called Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Right, you get Superman Tokyo Drift. No.
Yeah.
Bro, that would be great. That would be. That's it.
To be honest, there is a manga series where Superman does go to Japan, and he's like a foodie, and he goes all
change his name to Goku by chance.
No, he just goes around and eats a whole bunch of food.
That sounds like Goku.
I like Superman doing mukbangs. That's the new YouTube.
I'm gonna need that explained to me. What the hell is a mukbang?
So mukbang is when you make, for example, what if you were to make 100 pounds of spaghetti, dump it on your giant granite table, then invite 6 people over, you eat it till you all look like you're about to die?
Basically, it's food eating ASMR. That's it.
Yeah. That's
literally
is that an American, like a strictly American thing?
No,
mostly Americans love to do it though.
It's popular in America and in some Asian countries where they get a little bit more exotic with their food choices.
Like, no joke, I saw this group of like 4 people order like 80 pizzas and just sit on their floor that clearly their daddy bought them this apartment in New York, and they just ate all the pizzas till they were literally like crawling on the floor, being like, I might die. We need to go to a hospital. And I'm like,
this sounds like the kids yearn for the troughs, to be honest.
well, it's a little bit weird because we know the details behind the scenes. These behind the scenes is that a lot of them don't really hold the food down.
No,
I'm not surprised. I'm not.
Yeah. No, well, it's either they do it from their body or they induce it themselves to keep doing it.
Oh.
And what's it called? A mukbang?
Yeah, mukbang.
Yeah, because it started in the East at first, and it just kept the name.
Time to. Yeah. Look that up. It's weird. It's a whole thing. Look it up, people. Hey, also, since we're talking about Superman here, or join us on the member section for the bonus topic where we're gonna talk about the dumbest Zack Snyder quotes of the week, and there's 100 of them. So
on the Joe Rogan show.
yeah. So join us there. You know what? Let's just jump on to our last topic. Let's talk about Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is back for Deadpool and Wolverine, and he may or may not have made some demands for a potential return for Secret Wars. So apparently his demands were, I work with Andrew and Andrew, Tobey Maguire, just all the people that are legendary, apparently, right? Some people are saying it's only 2, some are like 4, some are 8. Who cares? He's making demands allegedly. That's the point.
This sounds like fan fiction to me.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
Let's be real. It's Secret Wars. Everyone knew everyone was going to be in it. That's the point of Secret Wars, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. But what I don't see why Hugh Jackman would be demanding this when it's blatantly going to happen regardless.
And
I think he's just trying to drum it up because of, was it that from the behind the scenes situation where they had Spider-Man 2002 and X-Men 1, and they had a little bit of a crossover where Spider-Man just so happens to walk in behind them.
I mean, look,
but where's this coming from? Who's saying he's demanding it?
From what I saw, I can't confirm if it's the original source, but it was stated by them. Somebody from Cosmic Circus did talk for a second about it, but there was other insiders saying it. Now, here's my takeaway on this. Hugh Jackman can't possibly have a demand so big that's like, hey, Feige, you need to make sure the Sony property you can't touch unless Sony is involved is here. Kevin Feige can't make that promise because you never know what Sony's going to do, right? So, like, I'm conflicted on this one because I do believe that Jackman probably had a few demands, which we already saw. Some of them were met with
which is probably pay for all the chicken I have to eat for the next couple of years.
Yeah, chicken, broccoli, and blank.
A bit of rice.
Rice. The mountain of rice.
The mountain of rice. So, I mean, it's kind of like what you're saying, Mitch. We know they are going to appear in this, and Marvel is going to pull out all the stops to try to get everybody into this film. And if what we just heard from 2 different actors from Deadpool versus Wolverine, one, the cab driver who said, there's so many cameos, you're going to be blown away. And then, Juggernaut from X-Men 3, Vinnie Jones was like, well, they asked me to come back with a bunch of other people, but I didn't want to do it.
And so no one was disappointed that Vinnie Jones
pretty much
come back.
Pretty much. So, yeah.
I love how he said, that suit was a pain to put on. It's like, my guy is literally a couple of straps and a helmet. What is the pain about it?
So I honestly think it's probably just like, I don't know. I don't know.
He's like, oh, I have to do something. Oh, what a pain. That sounds about right for Vinnie Jones.
It'll be very interesting. Now the thing with the Juggernaut suit is, I do believe that he actually did have to wear a suit. Like the muscle was a suit, like a muscle suit that was made to look real, and it was like 100 and plus. I think if I'm remembering correctly from X-Men 3, unless they changed it at some point, he did get jacked. I thought he did wear like a giant rubber suit that essentially melted him apart, or maybe I'm confused now with something else. I don't know,
I
but
can't remember, to be honest.
yeah, I could see why he didn't come back. Maybe he'll come back for Secret Wars. Maybe he won't.
I hope
Whatever
not.
you don't really. Why would you even need that Juggernaut? Like, what would he?
No.
You already got the perfect Juggernaut in Deadpool 2. And one of the few things it did right. So, like,
It's true, yeah.
yeah, just use that. And he was a CG creation, and he looked great. So, nothing wrong with that, in my
It's
opinion.
crazy how we've only ever had a good Juggernaut for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. X-Men will do it right in the MCU. They'll make sure that like he's connected to the stone and
hopefully.
everything, and
It'll probably be woke as all hell, let's be honest.
Marvel always woken up these X-Men.
I know, right?
I bet you they're gonna make Juggernaut like somehow, I don't know, connected to Charles Xavier and his half sister or something because they're dumb.
Oh, that lefty? Oh god.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine thinking there's politics in X-Men. Don't just fight cool robots instead.
You don't understand. The robots are allegory for wokeness. That's why they're purple.
I bet one of them's got a pronoun.
Which one's got blue hair? Is it you, Iceman? Is it you? If people can't tell, we're doing a bit right now, making fun of the people that will legit be outraged at any of this.
I was trying to build myself up to do that babyface guy shouting about the pronouns in Starfield, and I just couldn't bring myself to
Oh,
do
that
it.
is, yeah. Oh,
It's my time. It's my time, and no.
Oh man,
I couldn't degrade myself to that level.
Now, I want to bring something up here. If you could pick any Marvel, all Marvel live action ever that's been made, right? You can pick 3 to add to Secret Wars to stand alongside, let's say, Hugh Jackman, Robert Downey Jr., and Tobey Maguire. What 3 other characters would you add? Because to me, like, I would, besides the obvious ones that will be in there, I want to go out there and like get some ridiculous, obscure, like, give me that David Hasselhoff from the Nick Fury straight to DVD movie. I want that.
I was gonna say, give me Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. I want Man Thing from that movie that came out.
Oh my god.
I need someone to double check if the Italian Red Skull from the Captain America movie is still alive.
Oh, if not, that would honestly, because I love that movie because that was the first Captain America thing I ever saw. I would need that. That would be so good. The 2 Red Skulls meet up.
About how he stole a car and then he steals a car in the MCU anyway. It's like, okay.
I want that Captain America from that movie who stole the bike from the one dude to just rolling on that bike, being like, "Where am I?"
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, that Red Skull specifically, Man Thing, and Hasselhoff as Nick Fury.
Yeah. I can. All 3 of those are yes. Imagine if Hasselhoff Fury shows up and he throws that same Falco punch he does, where literally he misses everybody before people fall over like bowling pins.
Oh, beautiful. That's it.
Amazing. It would be peak. So there we go, everybody. I suppose that's it for that one. So I guess that's going to bring us to the end of the show. Of course, if you guys want more, there is more that you can listen to. We got 2 bonus topics: Death of Marvel Studios and Zack Snyder Saying Things, which we're gonna record right after this and then add them to members. And
The Death of Marvel Studios is a title that's going to be on this channel.
Yep, it's true.
It's
true. I'm not even going to tell people what we're talking about, but the Death of Marvel Studios is coming. It's on the horizon, and we're going to talk about it. So you guys should definitely join us on there. And you know what? We'll just catch you next week.